Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we will be taking a look at my Azlask the Swelling Scourge commander deck. This is an Eldrazi tribal deck, where it's all 5 colors in theory, practically 6 colors since you need the colorless. And this is, well, my deck tech for this. We have Azlask as the commander. It's a 3-mana 2/2 legendary Eldrazi creature with a triggered abilities and with a triggered ability and a activated ability. The triggered ability is when colorless creatures you control dies, you get an experience counters. That includes Azlask himself. Then you have the activated ability that has for Wooburg, creatures you control. Let me see if I cannot. Creatures you control gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Scions and spawns you control gain Indestructible and Annihilator 1 until end of turn. So this one really cares about, well, spawns and scions, which are actually quite good. And this, let me center. Well, these are the piles that we have to deal with and so on. So, and these are just the tokens that this deck generates. I don't have an experience counter token, but, well, let's go through all of this, I'm gonna break them up into different piles. Primarily land, instant sorceries, planeswalkers, artifact creatures. I believe that's it. Azlask is gonna be right there. And I'll see you soon. So, now I have split all cards into their different types. We have artifact, creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, instants, sorceries, and non-basics. Here we have the basics. I only run one of each basic land, and yeah, it's actually working out pretty good for me that way. So we're gonna put these underneath the commander, and then we're gonna go through all the artifacts now. So this is actually helping. This is giving us an alternative cost to cast our big Eldrazi's. It's actually very useful. Fist of Suns. You may pay your white, blue, black, red, green, rather than pay the mana cost for spells you cast. It actually works well with a certain creature in that we will come to. So it's a good alternate cost. Thran Dynamo, one of many mana rocks in this. It's gonna be a lot of mana rocks. So then we have Darksteel Monolith. lets you cast one colorless spell from your hand once per turn for free without paying its mana cost or paying 0 rather than its mana cost. Very useful. If you can get your hand on it, good. Then we have Maskwood Nexus. It's a great spell. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So this makes every creature into either to a spawn and a scion, which lets them get like all of these benefits. Dreamstone Hedron, another mana stone, mana rock, with an additional sacrifice ability that lets you draw 3 cards. You pay 3, tap it, sack it, you draw 3. Soul Ring, very excellent turn 1 moon. Rock usually makes it so you can cast Azlask turn 2, and since it's tapping for 2 colorless, Azlask costs 3, so pretty much standard in every commander deck. This is Cloudstone Curio. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under you control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with it to its owner's hand. So, with Fist of Suns and the creature I'm going to show, hopefully it's in here. This will just make you bounce everything, every like creature. If you cast a creature, enchantment, planeswalker, land, but not artifacts. So you can like protect your stuff if you can cast instant speed. Talisman of Dominance. We have at least 4, I believe, if I remember correctly. Provides 2 colors for the cost of 1 damage, which is good. It also provides colorless, a lot of useful things for this, for creatures, that is. Hedron Archive, also very good spell. Same with it has about the same, it does the same thing that Dreamstone Hedron does, but it it does it for 2 less, or 1 less actually. Sorry. Mystic Forge, always in every colorless spell, every colorless deck that has majority colorless. A lot of the creatures are the Void, so you can cast them from the top of your library, since the Void says that this card has no color. Mana reduction, Herald Sword, you name Eldrazi. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. So effectively, you draw like an extra card at the beginning of your upkeep, in theory. Or, well, you just get to know what you draw. Another talisman, the same with the same reasoning for. I have the same reasoning for all the talismans. Dominance, Impulse. I don't utilize all of them. I just utilize for, as I said. Or in Vedalken Orrery, you may cast spells as though they had flash. That lets you cast stuff on like your opponent's turns or at their end steps, which very useful. Stone Speaker Crystal, a 4-mana dude, to tap to add 2, and then for 2, tap, sacrifice a Stone Speaker Crystal, exile any number of target player's graveyard, draw a card. So this is also very useful because this is graveyard hate. People who cares about the graveyard, you just says delete. Another talisman, Everflowing Chalice, Mana Rock, very useful Mana Rock, since you're gonna produce a lot of spawns and scions, stuff like that. Soul Talisman, a Mana Rock on with Suspend 3. If I have it in here because it's tap for 2 colorless, you gonna have a we have Soul Lock in this as well, and well, you can cascade into this, and since it has no mana cost, you just cascade into this and cast it for free. You don't put it on suspend, you just ignore that. Forsaken Monument, Anthem, double damage, colorless mana, gain life every time you cast a colorless spell. You're gonna see it's a little bit of colored spells. You see one right here. Talisman of Curiosity, same with the same reasoning I have had for every talisman. Chromatic Lantern, Mana Rock, and Mana Fix. If you don't have all of the colors you need, this is useful. And that was all the artifacts. We're gonna go to creatures. A lot of these just do a lot of the same thing, but we go through them anyways. Eyeless Watcher has the Void, and you create 2 of these folks. 2 of these, which is what you wanna do. These are able to be sacrificed. You get experience. They ramp you. Haste. This one gives you your colorless creatures haste for 1 mana, so you can use one of the scions you got from Eyeless Watcher, and well, give something haste. You can give this one haste as well if you want. Ulamog's Dreadsire, we have it for vigilance, and it's a big creature. You can tap it to create another big creature, which we like. We love that. They are colorless as well, so it's a 10/10 Eldrazi token. Then Cadric, Soul Kindler. This one is very interesting. I have it in here because of just this. The legend rule doesn't apply to tokens you control. So, and it has the ability to make tokens of legendary permanents that has haste, and then get sacked at the end of your turn. So, if you, for example, create a copy of Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, you can get both the cast trigger and the attack trigger for it. So, very useful. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, one of the Titans. It's a 10 mana, 10/10 with cast. You exile 2 target permanents. He has Indestructible, and whenever Ulamog attacks, the offending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library. Very good. Many people will see him as a threat, so if you create multiples of him, it's gonna be an issue for everyone except for you. You're gonna have a fun time. Everyone else is gonna have a bad time. Conduit of Ruin. It's a tutor. It's one of the 3 non-land tutors that I have in this deck. You search for a card with mana value 7 or greater, and then the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. And if you cast this one, you cannot, you don't get this bonus right away. You just wait the next turn, and then you cast for 2 less. And then Herald of Kozilek just generically brings down the cost of like your colorless spells. It just brings it down by 1, but usually that's enough that you need to cast a lot of your spells for free. Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, the one Titan that has card draw, Annihilator baseline, and then shuffles the graveyard. It's a huge creature for 10 mana, and it's a 12/12. So this is like a big beater. Your opponents are most likely gonna target him, because if you can repeatedly cast him, you basically win the game. That's the point of this one. It just brings down the generic cost of all your... With this one out, Fist of Suns. With Fist of Suns out, you basically just pay 5 mana, which is half the price of Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Same for Emrakul, the Promise Ended. She is a 13 mana, 13/13, the biggest creature, I believe, in this deck. She costs 1 less to cast for each card type amongst cards in your graveyard. Then on cast, you gain control of target opponent or target player. Target player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes an extra turn. Flying Protection, Trample. Flying Protection from instants specifically. Fun card. Glaring Fleshraker. Also a very fun card. I won many games with this card. When you cast a colorless spell, create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sacrifice this creature, add a colorless. Whenever another colorless creature enters the battlefield under your control, Glaring Fleshraker deals 1 damage to each opponent. Also a huge threat, despite being just 3 mana 2/2. You will rarely attack with this. You just cast it, then cast another colorless spell, gain get this trigger. Then when the spawn enters, you gain the second trigger. Also very fun. Kozilek, the Broken Reality. It's a 9 mana 9/9 with when you cast this spell, up to 2 target players manifest 2 cards from their hands. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. So, basically, you can target yourself and another opponent, or just yourself, and that means you're gonna draw 2 cards. If you target your opponents that maybe just have 2 cards in hand, you're gonna draw 2 from them, and if there are at least 2 players with 2 cards in hand, target them. That's a good. That's good targets. You draw 4 cards then, without issue, and not needing to worry about anything. If it hits the battlefield, you can you get other colorless creatures you control gets +3, +2. Anyways, Eldrazi Displacer. Same. It's a blink effect for every like effect with an ETB trigger. Also very good. Spawnbed Protector, Graveyard Recursion, and giving you the tokens. Same with Artisan of Kozilek, also a huge creature with Annihilator, and on cast you return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sifter of Skulls. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you get a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature token. I need to fix new sleeves. That has sacrifice and colorless. So if a mass board wipe happens, you just get new creatures. Very good. Souldock, the Void Gorger. Since there are at least 16, I think it's 15 colorless spells that has converted mana cost 7 or greater. It's gonna be this one is very good to include. Very good because you get the Cascade, which often lets you cast a lot of the stuff here for free. And then we have Void Winnower. It's a stacks piece. It's mainly to protect yourself against Cyclonic Rift. It's to protect yourself against counter spells, veto save. Well, even spells, and make your opponents unable to block with even mana cost, even with tokens, since they don't have a mana value, unless it's like, what's it called? The Bloomberg mechanic. I don't remember that. Leave in the comments. We have also Morophon, the Boundless, which with Fist of Suns, you just cast your creatures. Well, you just cast your tribal creatures for free. It's not only creatures, but also spells. Your creatures also gets +1/+1. Void Winnower, or sorry, Oblivion Sower, cast exile opponent's top 4 cards, take all of their lands. It's ramp. This is Breaker of Creation. On cast you get hex. Damn it. On cast you gain 1 life for each colorless permanent. Lands is actually like, this would give you 5 life when you cast this. So hence why we run as few color spells as possible, so we gain the most life also. Catacomb Sifter, we will run rampant. ETB, you get one of these. If you sack it, you scry 1. Nettle Drone, you can tap it to do 1 damage. When you cast a colorless spell, you untap it. You can tap it again. If you have more, you can just continue this loop and, well, get everyone to die at the same time. Deepfathom Skulker. Whenever a creature you control does combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. So this is easy to card draw. You can also get them to get your creatures or someone else's creature to be unblockable. A little bit of diplomacy. Sire of Stagnation. Well, this is not land hate, but it's a landfall trigger. On a landfall trigger when your opponents play a land, they exile the top 2 cards, and then you draw 2 cards. Emrakul, the world anew. When you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flying protection from spells and permanents that were cast this turn. When Emrakul, the world anew, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. So you take everything from an opponent, and if you blink her, you sack everything, even your own stuff. She has Madness 6, Madness pay 6 colorless. Very good. Drowner of Hope gives you what like Eyeless Watcher gives you, but it also has the effect of tapping someone's creature easier to get through with damage. And that's all the creatures. When it comes to the Planeswalkers, we only run with 2, and both are Ugin. You can also add Ugin Eye of the Storm, the Ugin that came from Tarkir Dragonstorm. I have the art card of that Ugin right here. So, Eye of the Storm, very much recommend. You can cut, if you want to, you can cut like the what's it called? Vedalken Orrery. Anyways, so these 2 cards, Ugin the Ineffable, mostly going with Ugin the Ineffable for the mana reduction. It's a very good mana reduction. Also, it has a destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors as a minus ability, and it has a plus ability, which makes it you can repeatedly shoot someone, and that's actually very often I cast Ugin the Ineffable, and it has not disappointed me yet. Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Many will know this. Ugin the Spirit Dragon is an 8-mana planeswalker. I realize it's not legendary. At least not this one. Yeah. This one is not legendary, apparently. But, it's a legendary planeswalker, Ugin, that enters with 7 loyalty and has a +2 ability that is a lightning bolt, a -X ability that's a board wipe, and then a -10 ability, aka the ultimate. You gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. So if you can ultimate this one, it's basically a good game. That's the Planeswalkers. Enchantments. We have Ristic Study, one of 2 game changers. Very, very, very obvious what it's gonna do. It's just supposed to draw your cards. Many people will just, at least in my play group, they will just destroy this, and some will cry. We have Echoes of Eternity. It's one of the key cards in this deck, because you can, if you blink, or not blink, but if you bounce and then recast, for example, Soldok, the Void Gorger, you will get multiple copies of him. And if you have the Cadric Soul Kindler out, those copies don't go away. And then your Cascades will trigger twice, and all of the ETB triggers will trigger twice. So this is a double effect. And Syndicate Resurgent, it's a card draw unit, it's card draw, and W mana. Garrick's Uprising. As long as your creatures that enters has at least 4 or more toughness, or sorry, not toughness, but power, you just go, you draw a card, and then creatures you control have trample. Card draw and evasion. Path of Annihilation, one of the good cards in this deck as well. It has the Void, enters with 2 creatures right away, and then makes all your Eldrazi into mana dorks. And when you cast something for a value 7 or greater, you gain life. Good. This is a sack outlet. You pay 1 green, sacrifice it to reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand, and then the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you sack, let's say, 1 spawn from you tap a 1 spawn, and then that you got from this one to pay for this ability. You sack that 1 spawn to this, and then start revealing. Let's say you hit a Kozilek from it. That's a good hit. Then we have From Beyond. It's beginning of upkeep. You get a dude. Then you can, when you feel like you need to find something else, like let's say a board wipe or something, you can pay 1 plus a green, sacrifice From Beyond, and search your library for an Eldrazi card. Put it into your hand. So, very effective. I usually tutor up Soldock with this one. We have the second Game Changers. Second card and the last Game Changer. And this is Smothering type. Helps with, gives you treasure if when someone draws and don't pay 2. It attacks, but you need the mana for this. Then we have Spreading Plague. This is whenever a creature comes into play, destroy all other creatures that shares a color with it. They can't be regenerated. So this will only trigger once in this deck for you. Since, well, you only have Cadric to worry about. And even that is not to worry anything. So this is a constant board wipe, in a way. Your opponents play something, it's gonna be, yeah. Anyways, so this is basically a one-sided board wipe, constantly. Most people you're gonna play against are gonna play with colors. Very good, in my opinion. That's the last one of those. We go to instants. Here we have only 4. So we start with Eldrazi Confluence. It's a modal instant spell. You can choose the same one more than once. So I usually go for create a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion. So I create 3 usually. That also, you can also blink something. You can also, if something is big enough, you can give it +3 minus, +9 -9 if you want, or all of them. You choose 3 anyway, so you can choose one of each. Garrix Uprising, usually it's also a modal spell. I usually draw equal to the greatest power amongst non-human creatures I control. it's usually a lot of cards I draw. You also have the non-human creatures you control gets +3/+3, so you can buff everything even further. You have Void Shatter, which is counter spells, a colorless counter spell, which if it successfully counter anything, it will be exiled instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Also good. Same thing is it with a Void Shatter. But well, the owner of the spell you're trying to counter have the option of paying for. If they do not, you counter the spell and it gets exiled instead of put into the graveyard. I'm trying to run through this faster, but it's a lot of cards. Here we have Ramp. You get 5 0/1s that can sack for colorless. Another Ramp. You find the Plains Island Swamp or Mountain. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. Find 2 forests with up to 2 forests. Skyshroud claim. For the first one was a Scattering Invasion. Second one was a Farseek. Skyshroud claim. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards and put them into play. aka you don't need to worry about if they enter tapped. You follow the rules of what it is said on the cards. Here we have another board wipe. It's very torn. Anyways, another board wipe. It's the slid, by the way, that's torn, not the card. It's an Eldrazi board wipe, and your stuff, most of your stuff is gonna survive this. So it's a one-sided board wipe. Anyways, moving on. This is the non-basic lands. It's a chunk. If I'm not wrong, it might be like 29, I believe. Anyways, we go through. So we have Urza Saga, Canopy Vista, Urza's Factory. We're gonna have a few Urza spells, Urza lands. So Urza's Factory, Exotic Orchard, Godless Shrine, Urza's Mine, Piery Stream, Breeding Pool, Overgrown Tomb, Path of Ancestry lets you scry, Urza's Tower, Sunken Hollow, Cinderglade, Stomping Ground, Urza's Power Plant, Secluded Courtyard, gives you choose Eldrazi and it lets you cast or activate abilities. So you get colored mana for Azlask's ability. Anyways, Sacred Foundry, Command Tower, Urza's Workshop, Cascading Cataracts, Steam Vents, Tomb of the Spirit Dragon, For 2 mana, you gain life. Very good. The second life gain effect. Or, I don't know how many life gain effects I have now. We have the Smoldering Marsh, Orrery Grave, Eldrazi Temple, Blood Crypt in Russian, Hollow Fountain, Temple Garden, Boundless Enclave. These are... you don't need to have all the shocklands. You can also... You can replace the shocklands with this with the Painlands to make the deck a lot cheaper for you. I would recommend that if you do not have if you don't have the like the shocklands already. It took me quite some time to find the shocks. However, I recommend the shocks as well. So this is a bracket 3 deck, believe it or not. Where, well, the cost of this is like between, on the low end, $473 up to like $637, give or take. It's also containing, like, as I said, 2 game changers, 0 land destruction, 1 extra turn spell, 3 non-land tutors. I remembered that Urza Saga is one of the non-land tutors. Conduit of Ruin is the second. I don't remember the third one. If I do, I'll put it in the description. And well, the majority of the like deck cost is in the land base. The land base is at $297.53. After that, we have the creatures, enchantments, artifact, planeswalker, sorceries, and instants. Well, as you can see, planeswalkers are $20.29. Average mana value is 4.88. So around average mana value would be 5 if we round it up. Anyways, we have about, I'm gonna just show you this. This is the number. Otherwise, this is a long video. It's already at 50 minutes. So, yeah. And I'm doing this on my phone. Anyways, leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe. Next time I will be showing off the Swarmlord, one of my decks that I also like. Yeah. Anyways, have fun. Go ham on your next deck building adventure. And I'll see you next time. Bye.